the interview for Dixie Jack. Take one.
Hey everybody, this is Carolyn Burnett with Sound of Lexington, and we have got Dixie Jack with us today, all the way from Nottingham, from the other side of the pond. And our host is Joe Valentino of Queen's Revenge. Hey guys.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here with us today. First questions first, how the heck do you find Lexington, Kentucky, all the way from across the pond where you guys are? What brings you down here?
Well, we kind of got a map out and looked at it and did this. No, we linked to a guy called Sean Gannon and the Lexington Area Music Association, and I Facebooked him. I said, "You up for a project across the pond?" And he said, "Bring all that you got, we're ready." Like this. A really positive signal for us, and so we tried to get some British Arts Council funding to get us here, and we needed a host to work with us. So Sean invited us over, lovely invitation, but we didn't get the funding. So he said get here anyway. So we got here. It's been brilliant. Yeah.
Wonderful. Has it been a warm reception for you guys? I know we
Amazing.
talked a little bit about it shows here.
Awesome. It is actually difficult to put into words just how good reception has been. And the hospitality, the place where we're staying at, the sort of thing we see on our TV in the UK. Big house, beautiful house, lots of space, and it's got this fantastic veranda which we can go out and practice our songs. And the hosts are wonderful.
Lovely. Well, glad you guys caught a good glimpse of Southern hospitality
Oh,
while you're down here.
really
It's always a good
us.
thing.
Thank you.
All right, so next up is how did you guys come together as a band to form Dixie Jack here? Is this your brainchild, or is it just
it's
a
kind of a long
family
story.
member?
He is responsible.
Yeah, well, I kind of started back in 2007. I was going to like a local open mic. Do you have open mics?
Yes, sure do.
There's a guy running it, and that's when I first did the mandolin and guitar together.
Okay.
I love that sound. Never really took much notice of bluegrass music, but he was. So I says he got all the equipment, and I got the car. I says, well, let's do some gigs. Let's get together. I did the driving. He did the equipment. But the band, he said, well, I know this bass player. Got a bass player. Oh, I know this drummer. Got this drummer. And I think in was it 2011?
Yeah.
We came to Virginia, in actual fact, but the bass player kind of couldn't make it. Well, his partner wouldn't let him come actually. So John, our drummer, says, I know this other bass player. Hence Rich. So Rich joined the band then. And then later on, we went back home, and unfortunately Mick passed away. He had a massive heart attack. Hence, Rob came along, and the story goes on and on and on. Yeah, we've got a couple of guys at home also to play the drums and the bass. So
there are more people to the project.
So we kind of we keep evolving all the time.
Wonderful.
They couldn't swim, so we left him.
Sometimes you gotta leave them behind. But no, it's fun. We've had an absolute blast listening to your songs and that kind of thing. We heard there was kind of a funny reception for one of those songs. I feel a rush coming on. Down at Al's Bar, you kind of got everybody all riled up there. It sounded like.
It was amazing.
It was fantastic.
Everyone singing along. It was a real warm feeling to hear people singing a song you've written. We've come all this way. It was like a high point really for.
And the fact they actually requested it forcefully.
They know what they want to hear.
They do. And they just literally threw themselves at it, and it really lifted the whole, for us, it really lifted the event.
I think it complemented the moonshine and the drinking.
It helps out a little bit without a
So
doubt.
can you guys give us a roundabout, tell us what's happened from day one, like the highlights of each day.
While you've been here in the States.
Right. Straight away, meeting Sean. Because we get out of the airport, and there's this guy who looks up at us and says, hello, welcome to Lexington, Kentucky. Great. Guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to rest? Or do you want to play? And straight away I said, we've got to play. So long on that plane. Well, because prior to this, we were at the airport at Newark. Okay. Yes.
I was born in New Jersey, so I know the Newark area pretty well.
Right, there's nothing wrong with the airport. However, there was a delay. So we sat there, and then there was another delay. So we got out the instruments and started playing in the departure lounge. And we were just, we weren't being selfish, but we were just having, let's try this. but everybody listened. And when we finished, there was this massive roar of applause. so we looked at each other and thought, oh, well, okay. So we did a couple more, and the applause got louder and louder. Unfortunately, it was one of the security staff came to us, somebody down, says, "You've got to stop playing. You're far too loud." Well, we're playing acoustic. and the moment she said that, there was this massive chorus of booing.
She got booed off.
I'm not exaggerating when I say massive. So that was the first thing. Meeting Sean, the second thing. And then Green Lantern. That was an awesome gig. Oh, great, that was breathtaking. And then from there, Wet Six.
Oh yeah, straight to this bar, and there was a 6-shooter of beers going round. And in Nottingham, in England, they really love the beer, they're really into brewing. And we said, well, we'll have a little beer. And then we were looking at the strengths, and they kind of start at 6% as the session beers, and we're like, that's where they stop in England.
Yeah, that is really strong.
So we were like, okay, right. We got through them, so it was a good introduction. But honestly, such a welcome. Everyone's been so fantastic, actually, and the music we've seen is just like the standard. We've learnt so much, just soaking it all in through our pores. So we've been sitting around playing and sorting tunes out and going, oh, let's do what they were doing the other night and do this and that. So it's been a learning curve. So I can't tell you how fantastic it is to be here. Yeah.
And the weather has been great.
We have been lucky. You guys came at a perfect time around here.
Absolutely fantastic.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed it so far. Tell me a little bit about how the scene is kind of different here in Lexington versus where you guys typically play in Nottingham and London and that kind of. Or Nottington? Have I screwed that up?
Nottingham, you're right the first time.
Okay, cool.
You're far more proactive. Bang. When you say it's going to happen,
You guys have been busy around here. I mean, it seems like you guys have just bounced around from one gig to the next. It's
but we don't mind. We've come to play and learn. That's the other thing, to learn, to take on board some of the fantastic things you do, both musically and the way you organise. We played a Green Lantern, come off stage within 30 seconds, come and play here.
We did this gig last night, and I was really nervous before. I was thinking, oh my God, what have we done? We've come here, we're going to play a few of these songs, and then I was so nervous. And then when we got there and we started playing, it just went, and everyone was so lovely. We started playing, and it was really good.
Well, certainly that's in no small thanks to the style of music you've got and that y'all are writing. We sat around and tried to pinpoint a genre type deal and things like that, and it was just so hard. But you've got this wonderfully lyric, dandy kind of sound to it with the wonderful British accents and that kind of thing. It's a big hit around here. It sounds so good. We've really enjoyed it. So I guess where did there was a cool story with where that Rush song came from. You said you were at a party somewhere? Or?
Yeah, I mean I've been writing for about a year and a half or so, and the idea from the song came about 20 years ago when I was at a party in South London, in Brixton. And I was outside of this party to get in some fresh air, and in those times they had big raves, so they'd take over a big warehouse, have a sound system. It was a big scene at the time, and this guy fell out of this party, and he was on something. He was going, "I feel a rush coming," and he was just saying this line. I was thinking, "Oh, he's got a great song there. It'd be a really good song." And I remembered it 20 years later. He came into my head, and I thought, "Oh, let's do that song. Let's write the song he might have written." And so that's how it came about, yeah.
So do all of you share your responsibilities in the writing, or is it you kind of write them and it all comes together after that, or what's your process for bringing songs together?
Mostly Richard.
I've done a lot of the writing. Snowy writes some really good songs, and some fantastic songs. So it's a bit of a team thing, but we kind of get together and we do a lot of covers. We're very influenced by American music, and when I was writing, I was thinking, oh, let's write some more sounds for the band and the instrumentation. And then Snowy's done some really good songs. It's just a real team thing, and it's real good fun. There's no egos, and we just really like the experience of playing and being creative.
You guys you can tell the fun just follows you wherever you go.
So we all like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard mainly gets the main song together, but then we'll have we'll decide how the song's going to go. Which bits can come up and which.
Bit of a democratic process.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Trying different ways.
Excellent. Excellent. Now I gotta say I'm a big harp fan, and so your contribution, you guys are pretty lucky to have a harmonica player that brings such a unique sound and energy to everything.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing the harmonicas for?
25 years.
Goodness gracious. And I noticed you got this really cool kind of pack down here.
Okay.
You've been accused of that being
Yes,
something a little
right.
dangerous in
Now,
this
folks,
day and age.
This is a genuine harmonica belt, alright? And on the side it says Seidel, which is an excellent make of harmonica. And I wear it purely for convenience. It holds 8 keys, and so when we're on stage, or whoever else I'm with, because I play with the rock bands and such as well, I just pick out the key, play, put it back in. But the reason I got it was I was playing with the rock band, and I used to have all my harmonicas in a little case. And as I was thundering across the stage, I knocked it, and they all went onto the ground. So when it came to the next song, because the harmonicas came out of the case, I couldn't match the harmonica the right key. So I've got to do something about it. The only problem has been, well, not really a problem, but as I go around the UK playing, everybody thinks it looks like a suicide belt.
Yeah.
You can kind of get the dynamite pack feel from
Yeah.
that.
It fell off last night at the gig and everyone was scattered.
Behind the building screaming.
And I ask people, and I say to them, where have you seen one? How do you know it's you got to go to your local Walmart or Asda, as it is in England, and there's a range of suicide belts. That's not going to happen.
It's not an off-the-shelf item typically.
No, it isn't.
That's too funny. So you guys have been together for about how long?
Approaching 3 years.
In this form, 3 years, yeah.
3 years. And so what do you think the future holds for you guys? Are you just kind of taking it in stride and seeing where the music takes you?
Yeah, we just follow the flow. We were talking about it. We just like playing, and that's enough for us, just to play and people, to share the love and that.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
So anything else is a bonus. Like being here is lovely.
Well, we've certainly enjoyed the heck out of you guys. This has been a lot of fun. When you're not doing music, what do you guys like to do? Is there any special across the pond activities that us Americans need to get let in on here?
Would you believe I restore, repair, and run the collection of steam engines?
No kidding. Like full-size trains and all that good stuff?
Well, we don't have. There's an area just on the outskirts of Nottingham called Wollerton, and there's a large stately home there, extensive grounds, there's a steam museum there, and we have beam engine, pumping engines, generators. We're a small team of volunteers, and the engines range from 1850 up to about 1900, and we've looked after them all for years.
And they're all standing up in good running condition?
Yeah, we run them every month.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Imagine.
I write writing, so I write children's stories, so that's kind of my other thing I like to do.
Wonderful.
And I've got an allotment that keeps me out of the pub.
That's probably a good thing sometimes.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I like to do a lot of walking. There's a particular area near Nottingham called Derbyshire.
Okay.
The scenery's beautiful, so I like to get out there a lot. Also in a bit of a club. Sometimes I like to organise walks.
Cool.
A lot of them's kind of retired and that, so we do a lot of walks.
It sounds
Usually
really
take a
fun.
whole coach out, about 52 people.
I mean, all the scenery that we see out there is so picturesque. It's absolutely
It is
beautiful.
amazing.
It's
It's a nice way to relax.
Lovely, lovely. Do you find that your surroundings and influence? How does that influence your music in particular? Do you draw really heavy from the scenery and things like
I
that?
do, yeah. I mean, that song I played earlier, the first song, Love Is Our Foundation, Love Is Here to Stay, is about going for a walk in this nature reserve, which is near where I live. So I often do that, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I've got my fill of questions here, I believe. We really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. The
Thank
music
you for
Thank
having
you,
us.
thanks
This has
Lexington.
been
Thanks Carolyn for
Thank you,
hosting
guys.
us.
Thank you.
And the
We
team.
really appreciate you guys being here. We're so glad that you could join us.
that's that. We will be coming back.
Wonderful.
Thank
wonderful.
you.
We look forward to
Great.
seeing it. One last question here before you guys go, though, is Dixie Jack. How did the name come about so that we remember and look out for you guys when you guys come back?
Oh, that
around
was
this way?
between me and Mick, the guy, because we literally was just trying to think of a name.
Sure. It's so
He was
obvious.
very good at he was really good at making stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, we didn't make it, but I remember him saying to me,
Doing all sorts of stuff.
I said, where did you get that name from? It's so good. And he said, Jack was to do with some cider he used to drink. I think Jack, some Dixie Jack he was going. And
yeah, he was into the Dixie thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was kind of saying, oh, because he's like what we call a jack of all trades.
Gotcha. That's perfect.
And he was thinking of the Jack, and then he said, oh, I'm into Dixie music. Oh, Dixie Jack. That'll do. I like the sound of that.
Works out perfect. It's catchy. It's got a ring.
Yeah.
So Lexington and
We still
everybody
really-
else, make sure you keep an eye out for Dixie Jack here. Thank you guys again so much for being with us here today. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you all very much.
I took a drag on a fag and a sip from a bottle. 2 white pills and my head starts to wobble. Take my hand, let's dance to the fiddle. Well, they give the room and try not to giggle. Feel a rush coming on, I feel a rush coming on. Rush coming on, I feel a rush coming on. I feel a rush coming on, I feel a rush coming on. Rush coming on, I feel a